Alright, Ronan MMA, welcome back to the channel. Quickly, I want to say something. I've been asking everybody to subscribe, and I've been thanking you guys in advance, and I've been telling you that if you don't do the thing that you've already been thanked for, then you will most likely be labeled a dick. And I had somebody leave a comment in my last video saying, well, the joke's on you because I don't mind being a dick, and fair enough, because if there's one fan base on the planet that is totally okay being dicks, it is probably the MMA fan base, and I should have seen that one coming. So I'm going to pick a new analogy for that. If you are going to be one of the people who does not subscribe when I've already thanked you for doing so, you will be the kind of guy that steals from old ladies in nursing homes. Okay? Which is exactly what the subject of this video will be doing in a few years if they get knocked out a few more times, okay? So, if you can't tell by the thumbnail, we're talking about Cody Garbrandt. That's what will happen to Cody Garbrandt in a few years. If he can't get this one done, okay? He'll be getting caught, and they'll be like, Mr. Garbrandt, you just walked into that nursing home and stole 4 old ladies' purses. And he'll be like, exactly, I snatched it up like an eagle. And they'll be like, so you're admitting it? And he'll say, yeah, exactly, I had to go hang out with the boys. And they'll be like, this man needs a straight room with a straight jacket so he can't hurt anybody. And knowing Cody Garbrandt, that will be a moment of great pride for him, because he's one of those guys that sees red, man. Or at least that's what he seems like. So, to wrap that little spiel up, I guess, just don't not subscribe, please. I thank you very much in advance for doing so. And I also want to thank everybody who has been doing it. It's awesome to see my subscription count almost double in the last 2 days. I greatly appreciate it, so thank you all very much. Okay, Cody Garbrandt. I don't know who his opponent was before this, but it said that his opponent had been changed to Trevin Jones. Now, this one kind of seems like who's going to Bellator, or bare knuckle boxing. And to me, it seems like if Cody Garbrandt loses, then they both go, because Trevin Jones is on a 3-fight skid right now, and he also has like probably the worst record in all of men's MMA. Cody's lost 5 of his last 6, 4 of those by KO, and one of those by 5-round beatdown, courtesy of Rob Font. Dude, Dominic Cruz is probably like hating himself right now. That loss did not age well. Cody Garbrandt will be telling the police that catches him stealing the old lady's purses about that too, I'm sure. Do you know who I am? Exactly. I beat up Dominic Cruz. I snatched up those purses like an eagle. Exactly. Like eggs. He doesn't even say it correctly. Okay. So, he needs this one bad, man. If he wins, if he manages to go out there and gets like an impressive win, he may get re-signed, just because he was once a champion, and there was like a shimmer of hope that he was, after the Asuncao KO, which was just savage, right? The weird one though was the Rob Font fight, because in all the other ones, it's like he'll get hit on the chin and then he goes full retard. And as my brother says, never go full retard. Okay, those are wise words. Don't do it. But he goes full retard, and then he gets KO'd by guys that he should not be getting KO'd by. Like, Pedro Munoz is absolutely a tough son of a bitch and a very talented fighter. But Cody Garbrandt should have been able to win that, man. He rocked him and then hurt himself with like a clash of heads because he went so fucking crazy. But then in the Rob Font fight, where Rob Font doesn't quite have the KO power to put him away, he's just like frozen for 5 rounds and gets his ass beat. It's crazy, man. It's like he's slowly morphing into a Mike Perry. I wouldn't be surprised if Cody Garbrandt is the next white guy to start using racial epithets. I would not be surprised, not one bit. Maybe he'll post a picture of some like ancestry test saying that he's got like 2% African in him, and maybe people will let it slide because he's, you know, he's losing his mind here. There's no way this guy's not ending his career with some horrible amount of CTE. And honestly, I kind of hope that he gets this one done, just because it's so sad seeing a guy who is so young go on a kind of skid that like we're used to seeing guys like BJ Penn go on. Dudes who've been around forever, dudes who have taken the damage and don't want to give it up and, you know, are on their way out anyways, whereas Cody Garbrandt at his age should not be out. And the move down to flyweight was a horrible idea, in my opinion. I think it could have been any number of guys who he fought at flyweight. I think the result would have been similar. I mean, and Garbrandts, who is a great fighter, absolutely. He's like one of the smallest flyweights though, and he was able to knock out Cody. Dude, he needs this one bad. And I feel like this is almost the UFC. I can't tell. I'm trying to determine whether or not I think this is the UFC's way of being like, let's get both these guys out of here. Or if the UFC's trying to do Cody Garbrandt a favor and they're like, we're going to give you this guy who has like the worst record in men's MMA in the UFC. You should be able to get this one done. So then we can re-sign you, okay? Or if they're like, Cody's going to go out there and get knocked out to this guy that's 12-9 or 13-9 or whatever his record is. And then we can just get rid of both of them. And they'll both be in the PFL or wherever they'll be. But Cody Garbrandt is, and I know that the MMA community largely loves Mike Perry and he's a meme and all that jazz, but he kind of is like, he's starting to turn into that. The only reason why his face isn't as so fucked up is because instead of getting his nose totally twisted and shattered or getting cuts all over his face, he just gets hit directly on the chin. He has the skills to win the fights that he loses to, and he just goes, nah, don't wanna. I don't want to use my skills. I want to snatch him up like an eagle, man, exactly. And then he just gets flatlined. It's been hard to watch, man. The 2 to TJ is like fine, because TJ's TJ. And then Pedro Munoz. And then who else, dude? 3-0, and then KOs a Sun Sal, loses to Rob Font, and then gets KO'd by Garbrandts. Starting his career undefeated. Like, he won the championship undefeated. Or he was undefeated when he won it, sorry. He really should be able to win this fight. And if he doesn't, I hope that he retires and doesn't go somewhere else. Because I don't want to see him just go get fucked up for money. Because I can only imagine the amount of CTE that he's probably already got is just wild. And he wasn't the fucking sharpest tool to begin with. You know? And Trevin Jones, this is probably his last fight regardless. I mean, unless he goes out there and gets like a first round KO. But his record is very bad. And this must be such an ego check for Cody Garbrandt to be facing a guy like this. You made it all the way to the top of what is now the most, in my opinion, like the most competitive division in MMA. And in a few short years, well, 4 or 5, whatever, you're now facing a guy who's like completely unranked and who's got a record of 13-9 when you were once facing champions. He's really got to win this one, man. It seems like his life is kind of like, I don't know, falling apart slightly. And I know that a lot of people like to shit on his ex-wife there, calling her fair weather or, whatever. Must not have been loyal, all this shit. And I know that a lot of, MMA redditors kind of have this sentiment about, especially a lot of ladies, but dude, can you imagine being married to Cody Garbrandt? I couldn't. And I mean, I'm not gay, so I would never be in that position, but like, Jesus Christ, dude. It would be, they had a kid together. It would be like having two kids. It would be like having two kids. Except his son might be passing him in IQ shortly, you know. It would be very tough, and I can only imagine what he's like after a loss. He seems like the kind of guy that would still punch holes in walls, right? When, you know, that's something that you're supposed to do when you're like 13, 14, going through puberty, raging hormones, getting mad about shit, punching holes in walls, not something a 30-year-old man should be doing. And I don't know that he's done that. He seems like the kind of guy that would do that. I really hope for his sake he wins this fight, man. He needs this. And he needs to just quick KO. Like, fuck this guy up. Use your skills. Dude, when he beat Dominic Cruz, he looked like he could be something special, not just like a one-off champ. It was extremely impressive what he did to Dominic Cruz. And his head movement was slick. You know, he's got good boxing, but he decides instead of using his good fundamental boxing, he's going to throw hooks from his hips. Like some fucking outlaw, you know, from the Old West. And it's like, man, you could just not do that and use your abilities and fucking win one, guy, you know? He's literally like the guy that, I see red, man. And when you ask them why they think they'd win in a fight, and it's not because they've trained, it's because they see red. He gets hit one time hard, he sees red. And he's like, nope, gotta get that one back. It's full on autism. Just obsessed with one subject and one subject only, getting that one back, and then he gets KO'd. And I'm not even going to give an early prediction because I don't know, man. Cody Garbrandt is just Cody Garbrandt, and I'm not going to predict anything. And I haven't gone back and watched any of Trevin Jones's fights. I know that he had one fight overturned in Nevada because of a THC positive test, which is fucking retarded, man. I'm so glad that shit's not really a thing anymore. Because there's a lot of guys whose careers got ruined because of that. Or not a lot, but there's a few well-known anecdotes that, you know, have had their careers ruined from that. And, damn, dude. We want Cody to win. Or I do. Maybe you guys don't. Maybe you don't like Cody Garbrandt. Let me know in the comments what you think about this fight. How far... Man, it's just crazy how far Cody's fallen down the rankings. Even a Sunsao must be fucking mad at himself, dude. Because a Sunsao's not bad. You know, he's like the litmus test for a lot of guys. And Cody got past him, no problems. And he looked really good in that fight, too. Like, I thought that because he had gone and started training with Mark Henry, like, Alpha Male was, I think, a bad place for him. Because it's a bunch of little fucking midges running around, like, all pretending they're alpha males. And I just think that the level of, you know, at one time, maybe, yeah, Chad Mendez, like TJ Dillashaw, Cody, Joey Benavidez, all these guys were there. But it's just TJ left and injured Chris Holdsworth or whatever. So Chris Holdsworth would be a good training partner, and then he's no longer available to spar or anything like that. So Cody just didn't really have... He was like the best guy at the gym, you know? And then he leaves and he starts training with Mark Henry, and I'm like, okay, great. Now we're going to see the... okay, great. Now we're going to see the old Cody, or the, you know, the potential of Cody Garbrandt. We're going to see that. And then he goes, nope, I'm going full retard. And I'm going to snatch old ladies' purses for money when I'm older. And when I get caught, I'm going to say, exactly. And then end up in a straight room. Please win this fight, Cody. You know, please do it for your kid. Don't let your kid have a vegetable for a dad that steals old ladies' purses. I truly hope he wins this one, man. Yeah. Anyways. This wasn't like a technical breakdown or anything like that. It's just, and it wasn't intended to be. I just wanted to talk about, Cody's fall from grace, and hopefully he can not fall much further. And, yeah. With that all being said, like and subscribe, please. And if you don't, when I've already thanked you, thank you very much, by the way. Thank you so much for subscribing. Now, if you don't, you're going to be right there with Cody Garbrandt stealing old ladies' purses. So don't do that. Nobody wants that life. Okay? So like and subscribe. And I'll see you tomorrow morning for an event recap of Derek Lewis versus Sergey Spivak. And we'll see how well I did on my predictions. So thank y'all. Have a good day. Enjoy the fights tonight. And like and subscribe. See ya.